Today we're going to talk about the Rode Wireless Go wireless lav mic system. It is an awesome little system that can help you upgrade your sound, so you're not going to want to miss this video. My name is Doug Fall. This is Augmented Actor, where we help you augment your acting career with tips, tactics, and tech. Now, you don't have to be an actor to use a microphone system. And in fact, if you are an actor, you may not even have a need for a wireless microphone system. But with more and more of us doing self-tape auditions from home, this is a way to bump up your audio level a little bit. You can set this up and be ready to record in under a minute. It's a very nice sounding system as well. The Wireless Go has been around for about 2 years now, but if you're an actor, like a lot of you are, you may not have heard of this system. So what comes in the box? You have a receiver that attaches to your camera, and you have a transmitter which has a built-in lav mic in the unit itself. So you don't need a separate wired mic to record audio. You get the cord that hooks it up to your camera, hooks the audio receiver up to your camera. You get two little tribbles or cotton balls.
Nice to see you. You too.
These are wind guards that attach to the microphone, and you get this little Velcro carrying pouch to put all the things in. It shows you how small and compact this unit is. You can take it anywhere with you. And you also get two USB-C charging cables, which you can charge using any USB port. And this all retails for under $200. It's affordable. It's a little pricey, but the quality is really good, and I see myself using this mic as my primary microphone source for years to come. Now, you can use this with a wired lav mic put out by Rode. So basically you could run that up your shirt, clip it on your shirt, and then use this as a belt clip, but it's not necessary because the mic is built into the unit. And that unit and that lav mic is sold separately. The lav mic gives you even cleaner audio than the unit itself. I have not tried it out myself, so I can't attest to that. And there are some caveats about the wired mic as well, which I will tell you more about the negative aspects of the Rode later on in the review. The standard unit is a black unit. I have the white unit because most of my equipment is white. My Canon EOS M50 that I record my videos on is white as well, so I wanted my Rode to match that. The white ones are a little bit more poppy against a black shirt, but you can always hide them under your shirt. A little later on in the video, we're going to test these mics out so you can hear what they actually sound like. I'm using my Zoom 5 right now to do my audio recording because I have my units on the table. My units on the table. Sorry to be so graphic. On the receiver, you have an LCD screen that you can monitor your battery life for both the transmitter and the receiver, as well as an audio meter for your decibel levels. On the transmitter, these two little lights will indicate that you are connected and that you have battery power going. Now, the transmitter has three simple decibel levels. You can have 0 decibels, -12, or -24 decibels. Three simple settings: low, medium, and high. Most of the time I put it on low because they do run a little bit high, a little bit loud, and so you could peak a little bit on the higher decibel levels, but just put it on the low settings. Somehow when I use it for Zoom recordings, I need to put it on the higher level. What's up with that, Zoom? You don't need to adjust the channel settings. It has an automatic channel finder that finds the best, most solid channel for the audio. And I have never had any audio issues, no pops, clicks, interference, dropouts, or anything like that in the 3 months that I've been using this unit. So it's very clean audio. Now, this has a range of about 70 meters, which is about what? How many feet? 70 meters, that's about 3 feet per meter. That's 7 times. So it's about 2,100 feet, right? No, 210 feet. That's what it is. And so that gives you a fair amount of distance. Not super far, but then again, for most actors and performers, you're not going to be that far away from your camera. But if you're trying to do this by shooting across a large ravine or something like that, it's going to drop out. You want a much higher end wireless system for those kind of shoots. Now, each unit has a little clip on the back that can clip onto the hot shoe mount or cold shoe mount of your camera. And then the microphone can clip on a collar like this. Now the battery life on these is awesome. They last about 7 hours on a single charge. I have never had them run out of battery, and I've been on long rehearsals on Zoom for 4 or 5 hours, and they've barely used up the battery. They take about 2 hours to charge from empty to full, and they charge with USB-C cables. You can even hook those up while you're using the unit so that you don't waste your battery if you're worried about that. I don't know what the shelf life is on these things or how many times they can be recharged. So far, so good, but maybe 10 years down the line, they might poop out on you. I don't know, but I feel like you're gonna get your money's worth for however long they last. They're going to be at least the life of a phone battery. Now this hooks up to your DSLR camera. It can also hook up to your PC computer or an audio recorder. So if you want to adjust the decibel settings a little bit or control 2 microphones, you can hook it up to something like the Zoom 5 that I have here and have more control over it. You can also hook this up to a smartphone, but you can't do it with this cord. I have a video on some nice accessories that go with the Wireless Go. You can find the link up above or down in the description below. I'll also have it at the end of the video as well. What's great about this is you don't need an audio recorder like this. It records directly onto the video of your camera. You don't need a big receiver box that plugs into the wall with all sorts of dials and stuff. It's just plug and play, pick a setting and go. The sound quality is awesome on this. It doesn't sound as bassy and as full as, you know, a podcasting mic or a singer's microphone. It's still got a fullness to it, a richness to it, and a cleanness to it, and it's certainly serviceable for YouTube videos, self-tapes, Zoom calls, podcasts on the go. You know, you can take this with you when you're traveling in a hotel and do a podcast from there, or you can even use it for voiceover, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for professional voiceover work. It is a nice, decent starter microphone. So why don't we test this microphone out and see what it sounds like. So this is what the sound sounds like in a small room close to my camera using the audio from the Rode microphone clipped to my collar. Now let's try outdoors. So I'm about 6 feet away from my camera, properly socially distanced, and this is what the sound sounds like. So let me walk further back and let's try to see if this drops out. This is about 50 feet, and this is what the sound sounds like from about 50 feet. This is 100 feet, probably a little more than 100 feet away, and this is what the camera sounds like. This is 200 feet. This is about as far away from the camera as I think you could safely go. You might be getting some interference. If I turn around, you might be getting some interference. I don't know yet. We will find out. But I can't imagine you would need to use this camera any further than this. It's like way up there. If you were going to get any further than that, then I would suggest just hooking it up to an iPhone and carrying your iPhone with you. You know, if you want that shot, just do the sound recording on something closer to you and sync it up with the camera later on. That's the solution. Like for instance, the Zoom H1 is a very small miniature audio recording unit that you can put in your pocket so you can have a backup audio source, and that way you're not risking losing audio. So let's talk about some of the caveats, the spoilers, the bad things, the negative aspects. First of all, this is a line of sight microphone. So basically that just means that if you have the receiver on your camera and the microphone on your body, you want to make sure that there's a clear line of sight between the microphone. Now, a cloth doesn't matter. It will work underneath your shirt, but it won't go through your body or around buildings or, you know, walking around corners. You might get some dropouts and stuff like that, especially the further away you are from the camera. However, up close, it's pretty decent. You can turn around, you can walk, whatnot. Okay, so I am backing up into a very long hallway using just my Rode microphone, and I should sound about the same all the way back. This is about 25 feet. But let me go into the bathroom and shut the door and see if we have any loss of sound. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. Oh, my Bonnie went down the toilet. So as you can see that even down the long haul, the sound held just fine even when I rounded the corner. Now let's try outdoors. Let me go around the corner. So I'm moving around the corner of this fence here. Clearly there's no line of sight anymore, and I am walking up the alley to see if the sound drops out. So as you can see, when I rounded the corner, the sound dropped out pretty drastically and had a lot of interference. So that's something to consider if you need to use it for some sort of shoot where a person's in the other room and has to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When I turned my body away from the camera, the sound dropped out. Now, the reason that's important is if you use it with the wired microphone, you'll run that up your shirt and you might put this on your back pocket or in your back pocket or on your back belt to hide it. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep this in the front somewhere in your front pocket so that it still has line of sight. Second caveat, some people want to adjust their channel or they want to have more control over the decibel level. And while you can't adjust the channel, which might be a deal breaker for some, again, I have not had any problems with interference, hums, buzzes, ticks, dropouts, anything like that in the 3 months that I've been using them. And as for the decibel settings, if you really want to control your decibel levels or it's peaking or it's a little too hot in your camera, you can plug them into an audio recorder and then adjust the decibel levels using that recorder. But again, I find the convenience of just having 3 settings great. One of the bigger gripes that some people have experienced, a few users, especially early on, these have been out for about 2 years, have reported that when they plug the wired microphone into this unit, even though they get great sound and they tend to use that wired microphone, once they've done that, if they unplug it, often the internal mic on these will stop working. Now, some people have reported that you can just reset this, and I'm not sure how you do that, but they said you could reset it and it'll come back. Other people have had to return their units and get another unit. I don't know how many people this has affected. I don't know if it was just an early manufacturing flaw, and I have not actually tested it out because I don't think you even need the wired mic. But if you're going to get the wired mic, get it at the same time, test it out in your warranty period, and then if there is a flaw, you can send it back and they'll send you a replacement unit. Rode's pretty good with doing that kind of manufacturer warranty. Just be aware that you might get a defective unit. So these wind muffs, they look like cotton balls. I don't know. They work really well because they have a little piece of foam in the middle, and the fluffiness does cut out wind and plosive sounds and things like that. But they are a pain in the butt to connect. You have to peel back the hair, the fur on this little tribble, squeeze these little tabs in there, click them into place, and then it'll stay. It's pretty good. The early units of these did not stay on at all. The later units now have a little snap to them, so they will stay on if you don't touch them. They pop right off if you touch them. If you're using it for a desktop microphone, then it will stay on pretty well. Let's do a plosive test. Peter Piper poked a pack of pickled punks. Peter Piper poked a pack of pickled punks. So clearly, if you're speaking directly into the microphone, you want some sort of plosive guard because the P's do pop considerably. If it's just worn around your neck or if it's under some clothing, then you probably don't need to worry about it. As for wind, I don't have wind to test it on today, but this would not work out in the wind because it will just blow right off the camera. This is your only option, or putting it underneath clothing, or having a backup sound recording option. You can record double audio so that you have some options when you're editing. One more caveat that I got to mention is that even though it's a very light microphone, it tends to bend forward if you put it on your shirt like this, or if you reverse it, it will sometimes tend during your shoot to bend this way, and then your sound is muffled and it ruins your audio. So if you're going to use it on your collar, I recommend putting it here. Now, if you're interested in the Rode and you have some questions, or you're not sure if you want to use it with an iPhone or an Android, watch my other video. It's all about the accessories that you can get with the Rode that expand its features and make it a lot easier to use. Thanks again for joining me, and take care.